take a look at some New Zealand's here. This young lady right here, she is about, I don't know, she's about 9 or 10 weeks old. I mean, she's fully weaned. This is Annabelle. This little lady is sired by Romeo. This is a Romeo bunny. Mama's Annabelle. This is the one the coons didn't get. So if you end up with this rabbit, you might want to call her lucky. But don't do it because I said so. But out of 9 rabbits, she's the only surviving child from that litter. So I would call that lucky for sure. Okay, let's get her set up here. 10 weeks old. She's starting to tail out there. Now look, I want you to look at this, okay? See this butt? Romeo is her daddy. So don't tell me that you can't get a rabbit with a butt that has a daddy with no butt. Okay? This is just, the deal is, Annabelle is pretty nice in the hindquarter as well. She's not quite as nice as Marcy, but she's no slouch. You know, look, that's not how we pose. Look, come on, like this. Like this. Here, let's get your feet set. Here, I don't have to squash you. You could do this. She's just a tad, like most reds, she's a tad weak in the shoulder. I don't know. It could fill out though. Bear in mind, she's still young. Okay. We got the little buck over there. By the way, nobody gave me any suggestions that I recall for the little red buck that is full brother to Bianca and Cheyenne. So I have named him Loverboy. For obvious reasons, you could just about call any of your buck rabbits Loverboy. But he is the one who is officially going to be named Loverboy. But yeah, he is, I think he's about, you know what, I'm not even going to say because it'll probably be wrong. But anyway, this little gal here, she is weaned. She's not, you know, she's not perfect. But she's not freezer worthy either. I don't know, depending on how her shoulders do, if they fill out. She may be, I don't know how she would do in a show, but she may be, she needs to widen out a little bit. There you go. Yeah, there we go. Now she's nice and wide in them shoulders, but I think she's going to be a little low. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe she'll just do like most rabbits and make a liar out of them. But I haven't given her a name, but she does have a tattoo now. So she is tattooed and ready to do what young red rabbits do, which is eat a lot and poop a lot. And she's doing a pretty good job of that already. But this is the one. This is what's coming out of Annie. We don't know what we're going to do with her yet. If the shoulders don't improve, I don't think I'll show her. And honestly, I don't really need another red brood doe right now, depending on what happens with Cheyenne. Cheyenne recently had litter number 2. For the second time, she had 9 babies. For the second time, she had 9 babies on the wire. For the second time, I had to discard 9 babies. Now, look, that's 18 rabbits, just like this one right here. Okay? Do you know how many people would like to have a rabbit just like this one right here? And I've had to throw away 18 so far. Needless to say, I am very unhappy with that young lady. And if she don't get her act together, she is going to be in the freezer herself. Nobody's immune. Just because they get full grown doesn't mean you can't tenderize them in a crock pot. Okay? We'll just tell her it's a hot tub and throw her in there. Trying not to be too graphic, but I am very unhappy with that young lady. And you know, right now I would just love to be munching down on a big old sandwich made out of her, because I am, it may not be completely obvious, but I am irate. That's 18 rabbits. That's more rabbits. That's more rabbits. That one litter, one of those 2 litters is more rabbits than what Marcy and Annie both have together right now. 9. It makes 9 if you count this one. This is Annie's.
Please.
No, don't jump down.
No.
Oh, they're
No.
skittish. Oh, come here. Take it easy. Mama got you all upset. Mama got you all upset. Now, some of these guys you're probably already noticing. We've got light color. This young lady or gentleman, a couple of these here, not real impressed with what we're seeing here. But bear in mind, on this color, this is a broken to a solid pairing. Okay, so we've got some light color. We've definitely got some. Yeah, that's not. If somebody's looking for brood stock to raise meat in the backyard, that's probably what you're looking at here. Okay, sis.
Yes.
While we're talking about some of these, could you go and get the 2 that Jada has?
The 2 that Jada, which ones?
The Brokens.
Brokens? Okay. Be right back.
Jada's in the house, and she's got a litter of 3, and she's got the 2 broken kits that Annabelle had this past litter. Okay. These are the 4 solids that Annabelle had in her most recent litter. Obviously, they are, I don't know, 4, 5 weeks old, something like that. They've had their eyes open and running around. I'm not real sure that we've had any been giving you any updates. Now this little rascal right here. And bear in mind, at this age, okay, we probably shouldn't even really be discussing color, because they always darken up so much as they get older, and especially when they start to mature. But I'm not sure it's going to be enough to cover up all this. See that? I'm just not sure it's going to be enough to cover up all that. But there's a couple here that could end up getting dark enough. They could be usable. Okay, they're not even to the point. I've not even tried to pose any of these guys at first. Hey, go on. Stupid pigeon. Anyway, they, this one, got a little color here. I think this will darken up. I don't even know. Now, these are a little smaller here. Jada's production, milk production, I don't know exactly what the deal is, but these are a little bit smaller here. I would like to see a little more size in these. This one right here, while I'm thinking about it, Wendy, you've been talking about these broken pictures. This is the only 2 there are. This is the only 2 broken, okay? I hadn't taken, these things are just, I don't know, acting like they're on crack or something, I don't know. I hope not. But would you back over there? Here, have a rabbit. Anyway, these 2 here, this is a booted broken. We'll see how they're going to turn out. They're just not filling out as well. And I'm thinking it has a lot to do with the fact that Jada and that litter are in the house. I think it's just hard. I don't know how you people do it with air-conditioned rabbitries and what have you. I think these guys are just, I don't think they grow that well in an air-conditioned, climate-controlled environment. I think what makes them tough and what makes them grow to their potential is braving the elements, putting up with the heat and the cold that they have to put up with in, you know, a more outside environment. This one, I'm going to double check right here, but I am pretty sure this is a buck. And it is. The booted, broken New Zealand bred is a buck. Okay? I can tell you, without a doubt, he will not be staying with us. at some point. If somebody needs a booted, broken buck, he will be ready at some point. Anybody it's possible you can start talking to me about that, because I can tell you we're not going to need another booted. I wouldn't keep a booted anyway. I don't even like booted brokens. I really don't, and I don't know why, but I like these like this. This one is a doe. One, so that gives her an advantage as far as staying or going. But doesn't she look at this pattern? Doesn't she look like Daddy? This is Scrubs' baby, obviously. He's the only broken New Zealand we have, well, except for Jazz, and he doesn't. I don't really count him. He is a broken, but he hasn't supplied any genetics to any of our bloodlines at all. He's unable to breed. But this little gal right here, there is just a very, very good possibility, depending on how she grows out, of course. You know, if she's just atrocious type-wise, I'm not going to waste time on her. We'll just breed again and try for something better. But, you know, she's not really showing signs of being long-bodied or really weak in shoulders, but she's already showing signs. One thing that she's already showing signs of is a pants time quarter. Okay, look at those feet. Now, she's young. There's no guarantees that that's set in stone. That could improve as she gets older, as she gets heavier, you know. But, you know, if she's going to be atrocious, she's going to throw babies that are atrocious. There's no need for us, unless we just want to fill the freezer, there's no need for us to use her for breeding. And we're going to have enough bad rabbits out of our show does that we don't have to keep rabbits around just for the purpose of producing meat. There's a lot of people that have asked us for New Zealand. They're not going to show. They want to raise meat for the backyard, but they don't want to. They still want purebred New Zealands because they understand how much better the feed to meat ratio is on a purebred New Zealand versus what you go pick up at a flea market that somebody calls you a New Zealand, tells you is a New Zealand, and they've actually never seen a real New Zealand in their life. Which is what I call meat mutts, which is basically what we had before these guys. Before all these guys came here, that's what we had. We had meat mutts and we had New Zealands, or meat mutts and mini Rex. We had some mini Rex, and we had the Netherlands. I guess of everybody that's here, I guess the Netherlands are what we've had the longest. But this is Annabelle's. April. What month is this? June? Yeah, it had to be May. I think it was early May or mid-May. These guys are about 4 or 5 weeks old. Now, here we are. These are Marcy's babies. And I forgot to tell you on the 4 reds that Annie is actually raising herself. I forgot to tell you on those what their gender are, but I think there's 1 doe and 3 bucks. Sounds pretty well par for the course. We can check right here real quick. Okay, buck. Buck. And I'm pretty sure these last 2 are does. Doe. I don't think I've ever had that happen before, where I tried to gender check a group and they didn't move and get all mixed up, where I had to start over. Yep, that's a little doe. So I don't know which one's which, who I just put down. If this is the doe, must be that one right there. Okay, this one and this one. These are 2 does. You sit up there. There they go. There's the 2 does. These are the 2 bucks. This is what Marcy has. Okay. And you know what? I said that wrong. In about, I think these guys are 3 weeks old. And I think Annie's babies are either 2 days older or 2 days younger. I can't remember which. But they are pretty close. But they're about 3 weeks old. And these guys are already growing so well that I think, give it about another week or so, and assuming that we have bucks that are still capable due to the heat of breeding, we may go ahead and rebreed both of these ladies next week. I was going to give them a summer break, but a person that has a lot more experience with the mini Rex or the New Zealand breed than I do, a friend of mine, you probably know her too, her name is PJ, she recommended that we take steps to protect them from the heat, give them plenty of ventilation, plenty of food, or plenty of fresh, cool water, 24/7, which the plan is for them to have that anyway, and plenty of air circulation, ventilation, and breed right through. And the reason for that is the commercial rabbits, they are happier and healthier when they're producing, and if you give them a break, it's going to set you back probably. You're going to wait a couple months to breed them, but it might set you back most of the fall because it's going to take you some time, because they're either not going to want to breed or they're going to skip 2 or 3 times before you get them back into the swing of things. So we're going to do that. Everybody's going to be shaded and protected from direct sun and all that, and we're going to get it set up before we're going to have good ventilation, good air movement and everything. And they're going to have frozen ice water bottles, and we are going to hopefully start to, we haven't had to yet, but these ceramic tiles, we're going to start hopefully putting a stack of those in the freezer and letting them get nice and cold, and then switching them out and giving them a cold one that they can stretch out and put their belly on. They can get rid of a lot of heat. We're done. We'll get you an update on Jada's litter. She's in the house and everything. You saw the 2 brokens that are with her. She's got a blue, a couple of blues and a chocolate, and we'll show you those later. But the lighting in there is horrible, and I don't want to bring them outside, so we'll get to that later. Somebody remind me that follows our Facebook page, and we can get some pictures and get those posted on there for you to see. But let me see. Oh, I got one more rabbit. Yeah. One more rabbit, folks. We're almost done. You've quite possibly seen this guy before. You heard me talk about him in the other video where we were just around in our what we're calling our addition to our rabbitry. See this little guy? You saw him not that long ago, I think, in a video. He didn't have a name yet. Now he's got a name. This is Lover Boy. All buck rabbits are lover boys, right? Well, he's officially Lover Boy. Okay? Now, look at there. Look at there, what a bunny. And those shoulders are actually starting to look better. They're not narrow. They're not narrow. He's not narrowing up real bad in the shoulders. And you pick this guy up. You see his physical size compared to, say, a Romeo or a Grubbs? You pick this guy up and he is heavy. For his size, he is muscled and he is massive. And I am really, really excited. He is still a young guy. He is, let's see, Bianca and Cheyenne are what, 5 going on 6 months old? He is the litter after them. He is the litter after them, and he is already so heavy, and so, yeah, he is just, you know, still a tad weak in the shoulder. But you know what? Romeo's got pretty good shoulders. He's got a pretty good hindquarter, so we can go either way now, depending on what the doe needs to have complemented. If we've got a doe that's stronger in the shoulders, we can go with him, and he can put a little more hindquarter into the genetic pool. If we have a doe that's weak in the hindquarter, or or if we have a doe that's strong in the shoulders, we can go with him, and he can add a little bit to the hindquarter into the mix, and vice versa with Romeo. So we can go either way until we can find that one special buck. I know where there's one at, but she probably won't sell him to me. I would love to own, well, let's just say there's a rabbit running around northwest Arkansas. His name is Goober, and I'd just love to have that little Goober. I guess we'll just make do with what we got. But, all right, folks, y'all have a great day.